that was because in one of our events we had this like rift in time and space open in the skies above Skaro, and then we went through it and it took us to the.
Hello, welcome to Metaverse Degen. I'm Lion. We're missing Raptor today. He's still back home hanging out with his friendos for his birthday week, but we are joined by a wonderful group of people. Who are you?
Who am I?
Who are you? Who are you people?
Who are you?
Hello. No, we are the HRs of the DalekHQ community.
Oh.
We do all sorts of fun tin can activities such as murder, flying around, and more murder.
Okay, fair enough. Well, what are you guys most known for here in VRChat, and what got you started with everything and into VR? And what is the DalekHQ?
I wouldn't say there's a singular thing that kind of got us started. It was a combination of things. For one, we do a variety of events. So we'll do games nights, PvP, roleplay, all sorts of different things. Another thing would be the avatars. We put a great deal of effort into each casing that is made. Both model and avatar wise.
I could see.
So
they look really, really nice.
Yeah. You can thank Dr. Gino for the models you see in front of you, as well as the world model, and the rest of our science team for making the avatars and the world.
Wow. So what is the DalekHQ, and what got you three into VRChat?
That's a good one.
I would say DalekHQ is a roleplay community, as that is what we advertise ourselves as, but we are a great deal more than that.
Roleplay PvP at this point, it's a huge aspect now. But yeah, mostly roleplay. But yeah.
Okay.
Are you asking what got us into? Go on, Drwo.
Oh, no, you go. Your question is...
Are you asking, like, what got us individually into VRChat?
Yes. Like, what got each of you three individually into VRChat and into the DalekHQ?
All right, I'll let Drwo go.
All right, yeah, we'll go top down. For me, getting into VRChat itself, it was pretty simple. You got a Knuckles meme, thought it was funny, so I got on and just started fucking around on VRChat. As for getting involved with these, just kind of bumped into them one day while they were doing a recruitment drive, and I thought they were really funny. So just kind of followed them, and I've been here since.
Oh, wow. What about you other two? Kanachan and all
right, yeah, you go.
All right, well, at the time I was working night shifts at my previous job, and, you know, trying to have a good social life while being a night walker. It's kind of difficult, so I learned about this Oculus Quest thing, purchased one, and downloaded VRChat, hung around there for a good year or so. Then I went ahead and got a PC, and I discovered these guys, and I think it was back in, like, what, 2021 when I joined, or was it 2020? It was during the midst of the pandemic when I joined, and yeah.
Oh, wow.
Rose the ranks and got to where I am today.
Well, wow.
All right, and I think we can skip you. No, I'm kidding. You can go, Mando.
Hello, Almighty.
Mando.
You alive?
Is he dead? Almighty.
Wake up.
Oh, no.
He has
Wake
died.
up.
We have lost one.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Mando, you've literally been here the longest. Why are you the one who's dead?
Well,
God damn it. You old hag.
Well, Wally returns back to consciousness. So what were the early days in their DalekHQ like? And like most roleplays, you guys must have one crazy story. I've only heard bits of like the length of story people roleplay in VRChat, and it blows my mind how long and in depth they are. What is yours?
I think the our peak of roleplay would have been Desolation. I think that would have been our
Yes.
pinnacle. In short, our second in command,
Desolation.
who unfortunately couldn't make it, planned out this big event to end off one of our homeworlds, as it was too hard to update and we wanted to move on from it. So he created the character we called Thorn and a race of Daleks called the Master Race. I know, haha. So these Daleks did not like the HQ, so we had to go defeat them. After a long battle, we defeated Thorn, brought him back to Skaro, which was our homeworld at the time. And then Thorn, in an act of defiance, called in the mothership of the Master Race and destroyed Skaro in front of all the LR's eyes.
Oh, wow.
As they were powerless to stop the barrage.
It was quite epic too. Let's be
It was
honest.
very nice.
What happened? There was like a squad
He's
of
alive.
I had to take care of something. My apologies.
Well, like, what happened on Skaro, like, there was this huge animation where a bunch of, like, Master Race Dalek ships flew in from the sky and, like, used their laser beams and physically destroyed the city, toppling towers and structures and explosions. It was quite a show.
Sounds it. So, how long has the story been going on for? How long is it? You role playing the same story? Is it like various offshoots of it?
So as far as the story of Dalek HQ goes, we kind of do it in bursts. So we'll do like one big lore event where we like do more of the story, and then we stop it for a while, let the assets kind of cook up and the ideas cook up, and then we do it again. I wouldn't really say the story's ever stopped. It's more so, I almost want to say it's kind of like a villain of the week sort of arc, where it's like, it's the same story, but it's a different kind of plot every time. Like, one event, it's the Master Race who are the villains. We have to go defeat them. And then the next lore event, it's Khan, and we have to go defeat Khan. So on.
Okay.
So it's the same story, but, like, it's different, like, pieces of it.
Okay. So
Yeah, we also got, like, what we call light lore events, where we do, like, a bunch of, like, simple things in between. Like, one of my favorite light lore events we ever did is one of our guys found a avatar of the Easy Anti-Cheat logo. When the whole Easy Anti-Cheat thing was kind of a big hubble at the time. We found an avatar of it and we used it, like, it showed up on our home world and, like, you know, challenged the Daleks to do these 3 challenges or else they're gonna, like, what was it, like, destroy us or something. It was quite fun.
I think it was gonna ban Skaro, just ban the world.
Yeah, I think that's what we like wrote in. It was gonna ban the world, ban the HQ.
Oh, okay. So, how many total story bursts has there been? And Mask, what are they?
Oh Lord, hold on. Let me try to count them. There's been a few.
Quite a few.
Also, was there any questions I missed when I was gone? Or
Oh, while he researches,
You can answer your question.
while he looks and finds that, we can ask you the same question I asked them. What got you, Almighty, into VRChat, and how'd you get into DalekHQ?
So I'm not gonna lie. What got me into VR was what finally was like, man, I gotta try this VRChat game. Was I was seeing the videos of the Ugandan Knuckles going around. That was when it got viral, and I was like, dude, there's a game where you can be this chaotic and funny. Like, that's really freaking cool. And so I hopped in there, and I was like, they told me to choose a side. Like, there's the Knights Against Uganda. I remember that used to be a group, and then the Ugandans. And I was on Knight for a long time, and then I just was like, you know what? The Ugandans are just kind of funnier, and so I started doing that for a while. And then one day I was just chilling out in Snowden. There was a Snowden world, Undertale. Don't know why I was there. But all of a sudden I just see a horde of these Daleks come in, and they're they're taking over the place, and I'm like, yo, I love Doctor Who and I love the Daleks. This is sick, and so I got indoctrinated from that day forth, and I've just been rolling with these guys ever since. 4 years down the road now.
Oh wow! So have you been a Dalek since you joined up, or do you have other avatars?
Yes.
Ah,
No, well, I mean, I am I have a lot of avatars as well, but my main group I would say is DalekHQ. If I'm a part of something, it's DalekHQ all the way.
okay. So has my question sank in yet? And how many storylines have there been, and what they are?
All right. I think I remembered the majority. I want to say there's like 14 or 15 lore events and light lore events.
Wow.
So actually,
I feel like
no,
there
it's
should be
18.
more.
Yeah, it's 18. I forgot the ghost overrun. I forgot.
Ah, the ghost of Ren. Okay.
So this is roughly 18. Definitely could be more. We've been doing it for a while, so.
So what are those 18 storylines, and how long would a story arc go for?
As far as each event, they wouldn't go for any longer than 2 hours. So.
Okay.
I'd say the first one we did was Khan. I think it was Khan stole Christmas, I believe.
Khan stole Christmas.
Yes, he did. It was very rude of him.
Man, we like doing our Christmas events.
Yes, Christmas is a great time to do events for us.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
Continue, please.
Oh, go on.
No, I was just asking what are the other stories is what I was going to ask.
So there was Khan stole Christmas. There was the search for Falkus. Desolation of the Daleks. The Second Empire event. There was Thorn's Onslaught, which was a follow-up to Desolation, where Thorn died. There was the Black Santa event, where Conatron here dressed up as Santa Claus and got an AK-47 and started shooting Daleks.
That sounds like fun.
A reference to what was it, Stabby? Put it as, because where did Black Santa come from? I think it was this it was some Christmas movie where like one of the villains was called Black Santa or something.
I don't know.
God, this is like the one time Stab. We need Stabby here. I swear to God, man.
Oh.
It's a shame we couldn't get him today.
Oh.
Yeah. Would we count the original Summer Games as like a lore event, or is that just like a funny thing?
No, it was just a funny thing.
I don't know. We also do summer games.
Yeah, we'll count it as like just a non-lore thing.
Okay.
There was the time 2 of our Titan Daleks fought each other because one was hijacked.
Okay.
Let's see here.
It's hard to remember them all. So we need a list. We need a list of them all.
Yeah. It's okay.
We also got good plans for like future events and whatnot, future stories.
Okay.
We got some
yes.
stuff cooking up in the background.
Our main story writer guy, he's always writing stuff like years in advance.
All right. So some of these story arcs that you've mentioned seem to have one or two villains in mind. Mask, who are these villains that play in your story arcs, and what was the specific what happened during those arcs they were involved in?
All right. So the original villain, Khan, was a Dalek who went insane. He was an actual character from Doctor Who that we brought into our storyline, as at the time we thought he was cool. Khan, if I remember correctly, Khan kidnapped Ren. Or no, yeah, he kidnapped Ren. And then the Daleks had to go to Khan, go through his challenge, which was an explosive maze, and then fight and defeat Khan. Khan then escaped, and he hasn't been seen since.
Ah. Oh.
The second lore event, the search for Falcus, was a time when the creator of the Daleks, Davros, had a clone who went rogue. This clone was named Falcus, and he went to the moon of the same name. We had a distress signal from Davros to come help him, so we went there, we helped him up, and we were searching the area for any potential threats when a series of very advanced Daleks came in and attacked us. So we retreated, came back to counterattack, and we captured Falcus, killed him, and then subjugated his drones.
Oh. Wow. So, how...
The
Oh, sorry. Please continue. I apologize.
No, I think it's just delay. I think it's delay doing it. Another big lore event that had a bit of an impact was Mando's here. The Second Empire event, when the Daleks by the name of the Second Empire, which was created by Mechmaster, came to Skaro to invade and take it over. The Second Empire Daleks had a shield around their perimeter, so they could not be invaded. We then took down the shield by overloading Skaro's reactor, and then we fought and defeated them. Xenal, their emperor, unfortunately did escape, but he dies later on.
Oh.
Xenol.
Oh.
Xenol.
So, with your... with DalekHQ, do you base most things off the TV show, or are you guys going off script and doing your own thing?
We do a bit of both.
Yeah, a bit of both.
So, most of the inspiration for what we do comes from the show. Like, the basic idea would normally come from the show, like with Khan. Khan's a character from the show, and he's insane, just like in the show. Or, Xenal. Xenal isn't from the show, but he's from a very popular fan comic. So we would take those ideas and then put our little spin on it.
Okay. So, oh, sorry, please continue.
Wait,
Oh, kind of like Doctor Who adjacent.
Ah.
yeah.
What have been some examples from the show that you've pulled into your own roleplay for?
The biggest example would be ranks. We have a lot of the ranks that are just straight up one-to-one from the show. A good example of this would be, let me get the Time War, as it is John Dalek. Where'd I put it? There it is.
John Dalek.
Here he is, the little goober. So this would be our stock standard everyday drone, kitted out with everything you'd need for extermination.
Oh.
The model was I believe this is Jack Hainsworth's model, right?
DB, I can't remember, to be honest, but I'm sure it is.
I believe it is, yes. We did make our own version of the Time War Dalek, but we have yet to see a chance to put it in game.
Ah.
It's still cooking. It's almost done.
Yes. But as far as accuracy goes, this is about as close as you're going to get to the TV show, Time War Dalek. We have a bunch of these, just straight from the show. And yeah, that's the biggest example. As far as our lore events go, not too many examples from things that are just one-to-one from the show. Khan, I mean, the name Khan is from the show, but as far as the characters go, our Khan is very much different than the show's Khan, both design and action.
I will say, in the future, I have a bunch of lore events planned that will be taken directly from the classic Doctor Who era. We do plan on bringing in a bunch of, classic stuff to, kind of spice things up a little bit.
Okay. So,
We said not to spoil future things, so you're getting banned now.
I'm not spoiling, I'm just giving a little tease.
No, you spoiled it. You're banned. You're banned.
No!
So, a question.
Find someone else to stream the events.
What have been some of your all three of your favorite moments or events you've taken part in DalekHQ, and what happened?
Well, we went top down last time, so let's go the other way. Let's start with you, Amanda.
Not to be a bit of a narcissist, but I actually really did enjoy the event that I hosted with Second Empire. I thought it was really interesting. But I will say, definitely con the con that stole Christmas. That was the biggest one and the best one in my opinion.
Oh. So what happened at the con stole Christmas? What happened during the event?
Well, like we described earlier, Khan he came in, he stole the Ren. We had to solve these puzzles. There was a like messages sent in the Discord that you had to like decipher encrypted codes and stuff, and you had to figure it out. It was like a big old puzzle game, and then eventually you had to go through a maze, and eventually we got to Khan, and it was fine. We saved Ren. It was really a fun event. Being there was awesome.
Oh. What about you,
Me?
Tom?
Alright.
Okay, I'll go next. I think my favorite event has got to be the Pandorica of Ren story arc that we did.
Oh.
Oh yeah, the Dalek multiverse events.
Yeah, the Dalek multiverse.
Except for part 4.
If I
Part
remember
4 doesn't
what
exist.
If I remember correctly, our emperor recorded a bunch of audio things. What would we call those? Audio
Yeah, like
recordings.
miniature audiobooks, like little mini audiobooks.
Yeah, little mini audiobooks he put on our Discord to kind of tease the event. And then when the event happened, we discovered this like ancient tomb in the sands of Skaro, and we go to it, and there's this big like Pandorica box. And when we opened it, it like opened the gates to all these like dimensions, which were just different worlds in VRChat. And we went to those looking for something. I think we were looking for Ren because he got lost or something.
Yeah, at the end, Ren was transported to the horrifying, terrible dimension known as Minecraft. So we had to go save him.
Oh. So
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds wild. Oh. What about you, sir?
Go ahead, Turbo. Your turn.
I would say Desolation, but I already outlined what happened in Desolation.
Okay. So what about those events made them your favorite? What about those 3 choices you made stick with you?
Well, they were all pretty cinematic. They were all big cinematic events that took a while to plan and execute correctly.
Okay.
Behind the scenes, for the lore events, we have people making the avatars, worlds, models, and then we have to have some of the HR team writing up the events, getting people ready. Sometimes we need actors, sometimes we need custom music for it.
So it's
And then we have people who need to go in VRChat and then pre-record like a trailer for it or audiobooks as Ren did. So there's a lot of effort and time put into them.
okay.
I always like the audiobooks. I wish we did more of those. We should do more of those.
I kind of like what Ren did with the Falcus event, where he like did the image encryption thing. That was pretty cool.
I did. I wasn't here for the Falcus event. I missed out on that one.
Oh, baby man. Anyways.
So how much goes into an event in the background before someone goes in and role plays with you about it? Like what kind of preparations normally goes into an event?
So for a normal everyday event, we'll probably plan it like a week, maybe 2 weeks in advance, just so we have it. Not too much planning, where we do it basically every week. So it's not the biggest issue. But for the lore events, the big cinematic ones, writing wise, they're usually written years in advance.
Oh wow.
Months, years. And then once we have the time to do it, we start with the models. We would have our main model guys, Dalek Ray and Dr. Gino. model up everything that would be needed. So, say for instance, we were doing, I don't know, spider Daleks come from the sky and start killing people. We would have Gino and Ray model up the spider Daleks and texture them if textures would be needed. Then we would have our main avatar creator, Jonas von Holm, put them in VRChat with all the weaponry and systems that they would need. Then we would find actors, say for instance me and Tron, to play the Daleks in question. And then finally, we would have the majority of the HR come together to run the event with the LR. And then we would execute it as described in the plans that were made.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how many NPCs and characters are normally played by staff or DalekHQ, and how many people there are role players? Is it all planned out, or is it like all impromptu?
Usually, at most, there would normally be about 6. There's usually not any more than 6 at a time. Because, I mean, to get around the whole actor shortage, we just make the enemies stronger. So Daleks have the numbers advantage, the enemy has the power advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, typically when it comes to like actors, we get like our Daleks of Ren or science division people who are kind of like in the production side of things. We'll have them play the characters while the everyday member of Dalek HQ, like our little rings, they can interact and play with our story. So like, let's say the Spider Daleks came down, they would say something to the HR would say something back, kind of like impromptu scripting. Sometimes we'll have a basic outline of what we want the story to go, and then we'll have this thing where the LR will fight said Spider Daleks or whatever, and we just kind of roll with it.
Yeah. We have a basic structure outline of what's to be done, and then in the event, anything that isn't outlined is just done with improv.
Okay. Now, the characters, either with your NPCs or even the ones you're in, do you play yourselves, or are you playing, like, role-playing a character when you're in that event?
Usually, so if you're not a villain, you are usually just your own Dalek. So if you have a custom Dalek, like say me, Tron, and Mando, you would be playing as them. You'd be playing as whatever your custom Dalek is. Or if, say, for instance, you don't have one, but you've climbed up the rank tree a bit, let's say you're... Let me just get a random example. Let's say you're, I don't know, a Marauder. You'd be playing as this big, heavy tank unit of a Dalek.
Oh, you're still loading.
You know, ideally, you'd probably... Oh, all right.
I see you now. Sorry, I see you now.
Yep, this big, heavy unit of a Dalek. You know, you're this big tank boy. And that would be what you would play.
Oh, okay. Now, do
And
some
then,
of your...
of course... I'll go on.
Oh, no, I was going to say, do some of your players roleplay characters, or they just kind of run around as themselves?
Sometimes, yeah. We'll pick... We will pick, the... Hold on, I'm just trying to see if I can turn off the engine. Oh, God. There we go. So sometimes we will, most of the time for the villains, we will have HR, Inquisitors, and Science Division, like people who worked on the project, be the actors for them. But if for whatever reason we don't have enough, or if someone can't make it, or just for any reason really, we'll take an LR who's been here for a while, like someone who's a regular, and we'll ask them if they want to play the part. And then if they accept, then we'll like give them the rundown of what they have to do, what avatar they'll be using, and what's going to go down.
Okay.
Otherwise, you just kind of show up to the event. You're not really told what's happening. You kind of let the story play out. You kind of see what the story is as it goes on.
Okay. Now, from staff side for you guys, when players are interacting with your story or certain characters, how do you keep track of what everyone's doing and integrate that into your story? How do you take care of that? I can only imagine how hard that can be sometimes.
With great effort.
Yeah, so it's a very, very great effort. Typically, like when we do our special events, I stream our events. So I'll be flying around as like a little camera Dalek. and I'll record everything. So if we need to go back to look at something, we could do that. And it also gives a chance for people who couldn't make it to our events to kind of watch and see what happened. Kind of like an archive.
And in the moment, like the HRs will normally just kind of watch over the LR, give them basic instructions. Sorry. Nothing too specific. Like, let's say we have to go investigate a planet because blah 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 happened. The HRs would drop a portal, say enter the portal. We would get them in a formation, and then we would start exploring. Maybe we do it in squads. So Mando here has to command 6 Daleks. Tron has 6 Daleks. I have 6 Daleks. And we would split up and then go search the area. And then once one of the squads finds something, we would relay that to the others, and then say like I found the big bad guy. I would tell Tron, hey, we found blah 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 blah. Relay that to your drones, and then Tron would, I don't know, do something like attention Daleks, enemy has been located. Move to the position, or something like that.
Okay.
Daleks, we have received a signal from the Supreme. Converge on his location immediately.
So the HRs kind of give like a light guiding hand on what the LRs are supposed to do, and then they figure out what's going on as they watch the event unfold.
Okay. So I have a bit of a
Pretty
question.
much.
What do you mean by LR and HR? What do those stand for?
Oh, so LR means low rank, HR means high rank.
Oh, okay.
High ranks, obviously, the people like behind the show, the staff, just we're the ones running everything. The LR are just the everyday members, just there to chill, just there to relax, there to enjoy the show.
So as high ranks, you take part in prepping as well as role playing, or are you straight just like keeping the show going?
We take part in everything. We take part in absolutely everything.
Oh, yeah.
We got our hands in every part of the server.
Okay. So obviously, from the sounds of it, you guys started from the bottom. How has working your way to high ranks changed how you view DalekHQ?
Oh, wow.
That is an interesting one.
Almighty,
So,
Almighty, you have something to say. Let's Almighty go first on this one.
It has definitely changed my view on lots of things. Definitely you don't get the grasp of how much time and effort things are put into like events and stuff. Because when you're a low rank, like we said, they don't know what's going on. They don't really know what's the plan. They don't know what goes into it and stuff. And as I climbed my way up through the server and climbed my way up into now upper HR, I don't know how I got here. You definitely see all the planning. You see like every little thing that goes on, every cog in the machine, and you're like, oh my god, this is high maintenance. But it's all
it's
for
an
them.
absolute mess.
Yeah, it's a mess.
But we make it work.
But it's all for them. It's all for the community, and it's for people to have fun. And that's it brings upon an appreciation and just like oh damn, a lot of work going into this.
So do you appreciate all the effort that goes into it now? Or do you kind of see things differently from where you used to be?
Oh no. Absolutely. There's way more appreciation for it than ever. Being an HR and stuff, it was just like I see now. It's not just on the seat of your pants on the fly stuff. There's stuff that gets planned in like months advance kind of stuff. And so it's craziness.
What about you two?
For me, that's an interesting question. I suppose my view on it, at least when I was kind of on the bottom, I never really questioned what the HR were doing. I kind of always just trusted them, even if I didn't understand the full scope. There are a few exceptions. But for the most part, I saw what they were doing as logical, and as I grew up in the ranks, I just saw what they were doing as more and more logical.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, never really questioned it. Just kind of helped where I could, and now I'm here.
Hmm. What about you,
How
Mr.
about you,
Cutter?
And for
Big Man?
myself, I probably have the same sentiments as these two. Like I remember being a low rank and just coming to these events to enjoy enjoy the games and the events and just be around people who loved Doctor Who as much as I did. And just as time went on, just being a really active member and just being a supportive dude, helping the HR when they ask things of me and doing stuff. Just yeah.
Okay.
And as I became HR and started doing more stuff in the background and helping out, it's kind of helped me grow some of my personal skills and gave me a good appreciation for what the HR and the rest of our staff do for this community.
Hmm.
I love it.
So another question I have for you, for the three of you as well, once someone joins Dalek HQ and works their way up the ranks, what do they take on more responsibility? What kinds of things happen as you reach each new rank?
So for 90% of the ranks, you don't get any new responsibilities. It's more so just like we have a made up currency called D-Bucks. So let's say we're having a games night event and it's Among Us. If you win as an imposter, you would get X amount of D-Bucks. Get enough of them and you'd rank up. Just a simple way to like reward LRs for coming to the events and giving them new avatars to mess around with.
Hmm.
So for 90% of them, there's no new responsibilities. It's just a skin change.
Okay.
However, at a certain point, you get to an area where you do have to actually start doing some things, and HRs, as well as some other divisions, depending on what's being assigned, will choose who's getting promoted to what. So let's say for Science Division, as an example, Science Division is our main avatar and model creation division. They're extremely important and integral to the group survival. So when we see someone's like very active in the group, they've helped out a lot, and they know how to do, say, Unity or Blender, we'll put it up to a vote between Science Division, like, hey, this guy has been helping a lot, he knows how to do Unity, I think we could use him on the team, what do you guys think? And if enough people vote yes, he'd be let in. He'd be given a offer to join, and if he did, he'd be given a few responsibilities, like hey, we're going to help you increase your potential in Unity and Blender, but as a result, we want you to make avatars, worlds, and models for us. Kind of like we teach you how to do things, you do things for us.
Okay, so like a trade-off. You guys get more people to help out,
Yeah.
keep things going, and they get to learn more about how to do what they love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then when
it's
they leave
also a
Science
good way to make
Division,
connections.
exactly. And then when they leave Science Division, they still have those skills, and we still have those assets they made for us.
Okay.
Mhm.
So how many divisions are there for someone to get into? Sorry to interrupt you. I'm just curious.
No,
Oh, it's okay, it's good.
there's 5, but there's 3 that like have serious responsibilities. So for the 2 that don't, it would be Death Squad and Media Division. These are recruitment for Death Squad and our media team. Media Division, they help make recordings, streams, just little sketches to post on the YouTube, Instagram, so on. Not the most active division, but they don't need to be. It's not super integral, and Tron does a great job doing what he does anyway. It's just a fun thing for low ranks to do if they want to help out. Death Squad, same kind of thing, but with recruitment instead of media. Go around VRChat, show people what DalekHQ is, get them in the group, get the numbers up, and introduce more people into the community.
Okay.
Again, not super active. They don't have to be. It's very appreciated if people go out and do it, but I mean, people join all the time on their own anyways, so it's not integral. As for the 3 that are very important, we're going to start with the Inquisitors. These are essentially our moderators of the group. if someone shows that they have leadership skills and are active in the community, but we don't quite trust them enough to be in HR with all that information, we will choose to make them an inquisitor. You know, they can help out in the Discord, help keep events on track when HR are busy doing other things. You know, just general, like, light maintenance. And if someone's really going above and beyond for the group and has been for a while, the HR would probably make them a fellow HR. Let them join in the High Council, and then they would have basically every responsibility imaginable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Indeed. So, at what point would someone get a custom Dalek model as well?
Customs are
Good
paid for.
question.
They are commissions, and our science division makes them for people for money.
Okay.
So let's say one of our science division members, he isn't assigned to anything, he has nothing going on, and he wants to make a quick buck, he can go to the commission requests and pick out, say, like a custom Dalek from Dalek blah blah blah. He would go up to him in his DMs, be like, hey, I'm willing to do this custom for you for X amount of dollars. Is this all right with you? He says, like, they would negotiate a price. And then they would, the science division Dalek in would just start going. He would just start doing it. And then upon being paid, he would upload the Dalek to the individual's account, and then he could use it at events whenever he wants.
Okay. So, something you mentioned I like... Ooh. I'm really good at interrupting you. I'm
got
sorry.
trouble there.
Please continue.
No. It was a light comment. Go on.
I'll just you did mention recruitment by going out and about. Would you guys like role play as Daleks in public worlds, or are you just gonna go to different randoms and talk to them about DalekHQ?
Oh, yes.
We would. So the usual way would happen would be you would start like with just like, let's say you and like 3 of your buddies would go out and you would just start role playing as Daleks normally. You don't have to do it that way, but that's generally how we do it. You know, like enter an instance of the Great Pug, say exterminate, like ask where the doctor is, you know, all the silly shenanigans. If someone expressed interest, then one of the Daleks in question would probably just drop the act and then give them more information on what the DalekHQ is and what we do.
Okay. Have either of you ever participated in such things? And if so, what have been some of your interactions with people been?
Oh, this is a great story. So I'm gonna go on how I was recruited here because this is a very funny story. When I bumped into the Daleks, they were doing a recruitment drive. They were expressly looking for new people to join. I didn't really know anything about how the HQ worked, so I just kind of cloned one of the Daleks without really thinking. I thought it was just a cool avatar. Instantly, all of them turned their heads at me and just start calling me impure and so on. I wasn't a real Dalek. I wasn't in it. So I ran away. I came back. They stopped caring about me after like 5 seconds. And I walk up to one of the HRs, the Supreme at the time, by the name of GLaDOS. He looks at me, and I was in a Dalek that, just for whatever reason, its lighting didn't work in the world they were in. He looks at me, and just like first words out of his mouth, is just, God, you are black. I started dying of laughter. It was amazing.
Oh, that does sound like a pretty funny story.
Yeah, we do like to role play, but we also love to just have fun. We just love to do stupid stuff for stupid stuff's sake.
We're a humorous bunch.
Oh,
absolutely. DalekHQ are comedians first, exterminators second.
I remember seeing you guys run around PGKT during Fest in 2024 this year. Watching you guys interact with everyone is pretty funny sitting for the booth, especially with the LPD and stuff. Watching you guys fly around the map causing chaos and shenanigans. It's been a fun time.
So I'm like,
Hey, we're interrupting your current podcast watching to actually ask you a favor. Would you like to join us at any of the other locations other than YouTube to follow us, which is like Discord, where we do things all the time, hang out, play games. There are memes and stuff being posted. Somewhere there's some duck references. We have a Patreon you can also follow, which we do a whole other show outside of Metaverse Degen as a thank you for those who signed up, like Niche, Forbidden Zero, and Alequum, as an example. The name should be here for you as well. Or the Twitter, which currently it's under my name, which is LionTurtle21. You can find that. I post things, random bullshit. You get updates, or me being with the community, whatever. You can find all of this and more over at MetaverseDegen.card.co. All right, I think I got everything. I didn't mess it up this time.
yeah. Okay, you sure don't, oh my God, I'm going to drown myself.
Alrighty, we want to jump your video watching any further. Have a good one.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
we got good relations with a lot of these groups out here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, our main mediator here.
I see
Mando,
to that.
Working day and night to make sure other groups are like chill with us, So we have other groups to do events with, mainly the Warhammer
Mr.
guys.
PR over here.
Oh,
Public relations.
I see.
Yeah, Almighty is our main ambassador who goes out and communicates with other communities and gets us hooked up with cool events.
That's what PR stands for?
Yeah, public relations,
dude.
I thought
Yeah,
it stood for
PR.
Pineapple Recreation.
I mean, it could. It could.
Do any of you in the
Pineapple
audience
Recreation.
are part of Pineapple Recreation? Let us know about it.
Subscribe if you're a Pineapple Recreation activist.
Let's go Pineapple.
So how was Fest for you guys, and what did you guys start getting involved with PJKT?
I think that would be a question for Mando and Tron here, as I was very much not involved with Project for a good while. I was the main guy in the Discord, but I actually didn't get many chances to attend the events. So these two would probably be best for that question.
Project was really, really fun, though we were unfortunately still not really able to put like our full attention on it because we had another event going on at the same time. That was like a 2-week span, and so that kind of conflicted, but there was still a lot of good times had at Project, and I think we got like 20 people out of it. It was 20 people joined our Discord and stuff just because of Project alone, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Also,
Yeah,
I think
but
this
yeah,
is
I
our
just-
second project event.
Yeah, this is our
Yes.
second time at Project, and I think for the future I can see us continuing to be Project goers as well,
Okay.
because it was really fun. It was really fun. I had a blast meeting all the new people, including yourself.
Yeah, you guys are absolutely fun to interact with. Well, I think one of my favorite moments is when that big battle between you guys, LPD, and I think one of the other roleplay groups broke out for the LPD station. I think it was.
I was not there, so I don't know about that actually.
Oh,
As someone
could be
who
wrong.
wasn't there, I can confidently say we totally won. If there's any proof saying otherwise, I deny it. We totally won.
Oh, so another thing I'd like to ask about, since you alluded to it, how many events with other roleplay groups have you partook in, and do those would count as official lore with those events, or would you consider those offshoots?
So 90% of them would be offshoots, mostly run by, again, our main ambassador here, Mando. These would mostly be PvP events with people like the Blood Ravens and the Clones, Imperial Fish, so on. Just all the PvP groups. We do plenty of events with them. There have been a few times where it was integrated in the lore, mainly a war between us and the United Republic.
Hmm.
I do believe that was integrated in the lore, unless we changed that.
Yes, that was because in one of our events we had this like rift in time and space open in the skies above
Yes.
Skaro, and then we
Yes.
went through it and it took us to the Star Wars dimension, and we landed at Camino where the United Republic was, and we had a big like firefight with them, which you can see on you can watch on our stream. I think I streamed to that one.
Yeah. I think
I don't
we did.
remember
Good
what
fun.
number it was, but it's one of those.
Oh, what?
And then I think we did a lore event with the Blood Ravens.
Ooh.
I think we did. I can't remember.
Think so. I think so.
Same kind of gist as the one with the clones. We landed at Blood Ravens, but like a battlefield they were at. We had a huge firefight with them. I can't remember who won that one. I no idea. And then after the fight, Daleks would retreat back to Skaro, and day was done.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
We love the Blood Ravens. Those guys are good.
oh,
Yeah, Flapjack and his bunch. A lot of funny people in there.
yeah.
High respects. High respects for those guys.
Hmm.
In fact, I think wasn't it the Blood Ravens? They were the first like community we really interacted with, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were actually one of the first communities we allied with too. It was it's been a pretty long relationship between the Blood Ravens and the Daleks, and it's a welcomed one for sure.
Oh, so how many groups are you guys allied into events with?
Oh man, that is definitely a me question.
Absolutely, you question.
They both turned and looked
Go
at
to the
you.
Discord, check
There
the channel, count all the groups.
I have to count. I have to count.
We have a
Speak out.
channel in our
Go.
Discord. We have a channel on our Discord where we list all the people that we're kind of like allied with,
Hmm.
so people could check them out in our own server. And if they want to join these groups, they can. And
Yeah.
we're always looking to expand that. Like we want to have good relations with all these other communities.
Hmm. Oh.
Yep.
Well, he's looking at those numbers. I'll ask another question to the three of you.
About
Oh.
Okay, yeah, go on.
No,
Go on.
you answer your question. I was going to fill the time with a question, but
Okay.
if you got the answer, let's hear it.
With just 40K alone, the 40K community, it's about like maybe 16, maybe 18
Oh, wow.
communities that have actively would like to do stuff with us, and I have been very grateful with working with them closely to fix relations and talk about issues and stuff. Actually, just pretty much there's a ton in the Warhammer, and not just Warhammer, but Avatar PvP area is where I mostly specialize. A ton of people in there. We have great relations with a lot of roleplay groups that we have still yet to. We would need to really talk with them more, but we are in close proximity relations with a lot of people like LPD, and I want to try to get more with the Waifuware and Mortison Kingdom and all these other big guys that we are in contact with.
Oh, that'd be a good one. We should see if we can do something with the Yakuza. I think that'd be fun.
Yakuza would be very fun, yeah. But
Oh.
it's a lot of work because it's I only get like 2 days to do this.
Yeah.
A week, so it's a
Oh.
lot on the plate.
So,
Mando suffers from having a jobitis.
having a jobitis. We all suffer from having a jobitis. I feel you, man.
Yeah, indeed.
So, I've actually been to the Avatar PvP world that was at for Fest. How large is the PvP community in VRChat, and what is that world that was made for the community? What kind of events do you guys run?
There are a pretty decent amount of people in the Avatar PvP. Hi, Fluff. Fluff is the guy who invented the system by accident 5 years ago.
Oh.
And it's just grown ever since. Everything from blood ravens to clones to Daleks to literally anime people, dinosaurs, Monster Hunter characters, you name it. There's a ton of people that use PvP, and it's been an excellent ride hanging out with those guys. And as for there's a lot of groups. I don't even think I would spend way too long naming a lot of them. But I will say for the types of events we do, sometimes it's straight up just, this team versus this team shoot each other. There's sometimes there's we Fluff hosted one that was called Infection, where they made it to where if you were killed by one group, when you respawned, it changed your avatar randomly to the Tyranids was what we used for this one. So you would be a different bug by the time you respawned, and so it was like Infection. Like if you ever played Halo or something, it would, upon death, you would convert and you would be on the other side hunting the survivors. Or we just straight up, we also do something called chaotic free for all, which it's just everyone goes full blast. There's no restrictions, no limit. Just you want to be a tank, you can be a tank. You want to be a flying dragon that breathes fire on people, you can do that. But it's just it's everything's off the table on the chaotic free for all, and it's really fun. And the community is pure chaos. But you know what? The community is amazing. There's not that much drama. There's not a lot of problems. It is just straight up a bunch of people who like to hang out and shoot each other. That's pretty much the aim of the game.
Okay. So, a question for you three: what has been some of the one of the largest PvP events you've taken place in, and what is your favorite PvP event you've taken place in?
I think as far for me, I think both the largest and my personal favorite would be the ones we did with the clones. We had a first stage battle where it took place on a map called Last Stand. It is this massive field with a huge fortress in the middle, and so we joined late, so the clones were in control of the fortress, and the goal was for us to take control, which we did. We got to the fortress, we sieged it, and we got past their gun line. And then the turns tabled, and then the clones counterattacked on us, and they were sieging the fortress. During this, a whole lot of chaotic stuff happened, one of my favorites being a Venator Star Destroyer coming into orbit. Me seeing this was panicking, and I turned to our avatar creator, Jonas, and I said, "Jonas, fucking nuke it." And he said, "Oh, okay."
I think that was like one of my first shorts that I did for our YouTube channel. Like I clipped that.
Yes, it was. It was great. It was fucking great.
Oh.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
probably my favorite event too.
And then, as said earlier, after the Last Stand battle, we went to Camino for the second part of the raid.
Wow.
Yeah. And one of the, in my opinion, one of the bigger battles that we partaked in was actually that one project community battle that happened, I think, 2 years ago.
Oh yeah. No, it was 2023.
That
I
last
think.
year.
Yeah, 2023's PvP battle was huge, and I mean there was some complaints. There was a few complaints about that one, but like other than that, it was pretty damn fun. I thought. It was a lot of communities just against each other, mostly Warhammer, but yeah, it was pretty damn interesting. But I have to say, one of my favorite PvP battles is actually not a huge one, but was in fact, I think, the Infection one that I talked about earlier with Fluff and them, because it was just really you had to turn your name tag off. The atmosphere, it was foggy. It was like a snowy, foggy map. you couldn't really see too far up from in front of you, and we were all clustered together with our little small groups, and then all of a sudden these Tyranids would just pop out of the ground and stuff and start attacking you. And you'd lose a ton of your teammates, and you're just freaking out. You're trying to find places to hide, find places to defend. It was really fun, and it was very scary.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And so I think that
Objective,
was
survive.
probably, yeah, objective survive. And I think that was one of my favorite ones, hands down.
oh. What about you, Connor John?
Oh, probably my favorite events were probably what these two just said, like the big battle on Last Stand. I just remember looking up at the sky and seeing the Venator up there just shooting its laser cannons and stuff, just being in awe of it. Like, it's amazing the things you can do in VRChat, and I'm just glad to experience it.
Hmm.
And like the infection map, that was a lot of fun too. Just clustered around with people and just watching as these bugs just tear everyone apart. It's a lot of fun.
Sounds like a lot of fun. What have been some of the wildest things you've seen in the PvP or the roleplay community that puts you three at awe? Like the giant ship you mentioned earlier.
I think one of the things that did bring me in awe, it was like one of my first events I have done with like the DalekHQ, not PvP. Well, it was PvP related. We were doing the thing, and we were told to go out to the outer ring of our little city, and we went over there. And I think it was Dalek GLaDOS. He pressed a button on a console, and this giant coliseum rose from the sands in front of us with music and all these effects of like sand crawling, falling off the sides of this coliseum. And we all went into it, and that's when we did this like gladiatorial fight with the Daleks.
Oh. That sounds really, really cool. I'm going to be honest. I'm sure it was wild to see.
Oh, it was. It was like one of the first big things I ever seen in VRChat, because at this time I was still new to like the PC scene, because I started VRChat as a Quest user, and I got tired of its limitations. Like, I'm gonna go get a PC and connect this bad boy to it. And like a week later, I was with the DalekHQ, and it was my first event. Seeing this giant coliseum rise from the sands, I'm like, wow!
That was good fun.
It was so cool. It was a lot of fun.
God, we need GLaDOS back, man.
You remember
GLaDOS,
that? Were you
no,
there
I
on the
was
Coliseum?
there. I was there.
That was cool.
I'm telling you, man. GLaDOS did the craziest things.
He did. Man, I miss that guy.
Cool.
GLaDOS, if you're watching this, we need you. Get back here, man.
What about you two?
Abandoned reality. Return to DalekHQ.
Absolutely.
Abandoned reality.
Oh. What about you two? What are some of the wildest things you two've seen in the roleplay or PvP scene?
I'm gonna let you go, man. Though I think I need to.
No, I'm gonna.
gonna.
No, oh man, we're at the same page with that one. I'm gonna have to accelerate my brain.
All right, I'll go. I think one of my favorite moments in like just general VRC was Are we doing like, is this like DalekHQ events, or is it just like in general like craziest things we've seen?
Any of the above.
All right. I think one of the craziest things I've seen on VRChat, and it's a big reason why I've stuck around for so long. I went to this world, Project Summer Flare, and if you've been there, you already know where this story's going. But I showed up just randomly, just exploring, messing around, and I thought it was just a random hangout world for like the first hour I was there.
Hmm.
And I saw you could pick some stuff up, and after a while, I noticed you could put those stuff, the things you could pick up, in baskets. So I went around, I picked everything up, and I put them in the baskets. And then a button showed up, and I pressed it. And I'm not going to spoil what happens for anyone who hasn't been there, because it's genuinely, in my opinion, one of the best worlds in VRChat. But I think the setup as to how it was done and just everything after that was an absolute spectacle of what you can do in this platform and why I love it so much. Just the artistic ability for people to just do anything is so cool.
Oh, I think I've been to Project Summer Flare as a world. You definitely should go. I even put the link in the description.
Absolutely.
If Future Line can remember.
Good on you. Good on you. Good on you. Great world.
What about you, Almighty?
One of the craziest things I think I've seen was shoot, what was it? It was
That one time.
that one time, and
When the stuff and the things happened.
Stuff and the things. Tell me more.
Right. And then that one guy. No. Shoot.
It's okay if you can't think of
I
anything.
still think just. Well, I mean, I think just the craziest thing for me is that I've seen is just how connected all these communities are. Because when you talk to one group of people, it's like, okay, this is this group of people, and then when you talk to another one, you think, okay, they're separate, But the more you start talking to people, you see, like, you mentioned one name on the far left over here, this group, and then they're like, oh yeah, I know about this guy who's already over there in this whole other group, and it's just like, it's weird. It's weird to me that, like, how connected the communities are, especially within this kind of the area of VRChat with like Project, Avatar, PvP, roleplay, and all that. Someone somewhere knows someone, and it's that's like, I guess just that concept is like crazy to me, and it's just like, wow, this game is amazing.
I very much agree. I actually can agree. That's one of the craziest things I have to agree with you there, Almighty, is during Metaverse Degen, I would never expect as many communities who we've had the chance of meeting were connected as they were. And over time, I'm starting to see weird puzzle pieces fall into places like, wait a minute, I remember this guy talked about a thing happened over here with this guy, and they're over there with that guy. And it's actually kind of cool to see all those pieces fit sometimes, and who knows what and what kind of events people are connected to. I can agree.
Yeah, like a buddy of mine, oh shoot, I think it was either Hillbilly or Goose. They are friends with Raptor, your buddy, and he was talking to me in a VC about, oh yeah, we're gonna have like an interview thing happen. I'm like, yeah, we are too. It's a Metaverse Degen, right? And he's like, yeah, those are the guys. My buddy's Raptor. And I'm like, no shit. And so it's that type of stuff that opens my mind of, oh my god, people are connected everywhere. It's a small world.
Raptor and I are like the
Absolutely.
gnats that don't go away.
Everyone knows everyone everywhere.
I see what you're doing. Put it away. So I'd like to ask with a final few questions of you guys before we wrap up. I say final, but it's never the final. Where did your names come from, and why do you use them as your screen name?
I guess I'll go first. Connortron, that's kind of been a pseudo name that I've had since like middle school. I, surprisingly enough, am a big fan of Transformers. Always have been, always will be. I love the toys, the shows, the action figures. And my friends growing up just always like, hey, call yourself Connortron. And I just kind of stuck with it all my life. And it's just kind of my screen name.
Okay. What about you, Turbo
All right.
Konko?
Yeah.
Kanoko.
So, as you just demonstrated, my name was expressly designed to be very annoying to pronounce. I was sitting in middle school one day. I'm like, I'm gonna move to PC soon. I should have a really weird name because I want to get rid of this old name. So I just sat down for a while. I'm like, what if it was as annoying to pronounce as possible, but still a word that makes sense? So I came up with Turbo Kanoko.
I
And it's
kind of
just
want
kind
to
of
see
stuck ever
Raptor,
since.
who has dyslexia, trying to pronounce it. Seems like it'd be kind of fun.
Oh, that'd be hilarious! Absolutely hilarious. Just send him that message. Just send him a message with my name, and just be like, try to pronounce this.
I love you, buddy. Good reason to pick a name to make it be as annoying as to pronounce as possible. A plus.
Exactly.
What about
All right,
you,
now
Almighty?
how about you, Almighty / Vizsla / Mando / Blue Man?
I am a man of many names, apparently. But Almighty has been a constant, at least a consistent one, because when I first got into VRChat, just a little bit before the Daleks, I met my personal friend group through My Hero, which I know some people are like, oh, cringe, but it was before all the kids invaded it. But, and I met my friends through My Hero, and I really like the character All Might. He's he's an inspiration for me. I love that, the smile, the can-do attitude of him. And so I was like, how? And I'm always been called Almighty, by my friends, and I'm like, what should I do for my name on Discord now and further on? And so I just chose Almighty. And it's finally been the one name that stuck. And there's been iterations here and there. I at one point was Almighty Vizsla because I went through a Mandalorian phase, and my Dalek name is still Dalek Mandalore. But on VRChat and Discord, I'm Almighty.
Okay. And I would ask you what about the avatars you're in, and why do you choose them? But I think it's kind of obvious. Why the style of Dalek you're in?
You know
All
what?
right, I guess I'll go.
Yeah,
I guess
let's
I'll
just
go
do the same
first.
pattern. Yeah.
All right, so me, I tend to be a Transformers guy. I love retro toys, and of course, Doctor Who is no stranger to retro toys. And I really love like the 1960s. What are they called? Marks Dalek toys. They're kind of this. They got a weird basket shape for a head. In fact, that was my first custom. I wanted the basket toy Dalek design, which no one else had. And when I became an HR for this particular model, there was a render art someone did. I forgot their name. I cannot credit them right now. But they made like an emperor version of that toy Dalek, and I'm like, I really want something similar to that. I had the guys make this, which is an offshoot of that, but I wanted it to be like honeycomb bee themed because I like this what honey symbolizes. Like you can look up the symbolism, the symbolism, the symbolism of what honey represents, and I really stand by that, and that's what I am now.
Oh,
So you didn't become a bee to torment me.
No, I did not. After even though you may want to think that, that's not really the case.
Don't worry, I still think it anyway.
Yeah, I do too.
As for me, my Dalek is kind of a clusterfuck of many different designs. Doctor Who fans might be able to immediately see that the base is a paradigm, as they are my favorite canon design. The big chunky boys have always been my favorite. The sort of shape of it, the more cone-like shape rather than the flared sort of front that Daleks have, was an inspiration from Dalek Xenol from Second Empire. I like that sort of shape he had, and I wanted to copy it. And as for the little what do you call this? The cowl on my back here, that was something that was taken from the fan animation Infiltration of the Daleks. I thought the design the Emperor had was really cool, and I kind of wanted to see how it would look on my Dalek, so I had it put on here.
Oh.
As for the spikes, it's just because my profile picture has always been cactus related, and I wanted to translate that onto my custom, so I have a lot of green spikes, so on.
Okay.
And then the pipes were a reference to when GLaDOS made my first custom. As my nickname is Turbo, he decided to slap turbo engines on it.
Okay.
And I kind of wanted to keep that going, so I just kept the pipes on.
Wow. Well, I think that all your 3 of your Daleks look dope. What about you, Almighty?
Thank you.
How about you?
Well, I wanted to go for something a little different than the typical, like Time War Supreme, which is usually my favorite. But I have kind of like this general, army helmet design in the back there, because I'm the general of the DalekHQ, so I wanted, a uniform look to it. Just otherwise, it was just kind of eyeballing it and like, yeah, I just want a few little different things. I just want to look unique. And I got the things that protrude out in the face, because there's a one very specific picture online of a Dalek general that had that kind of facial attachment, I guess, to it. And so I was like, that's cool, I want that. And then I just kind of, the rest of it was just kind of eyeballing it and like, yes, I like that. I like the look of that.
Okay. I think it
Yeah,
looks sick.
So
You
no,
can't-
no rhyme and reason.
You can't have a Dalek General without the iconic Dalek General walrus tusks.
Oh.
Silence.
And I don't. And for the
Regret.
and for the last question, I think Raptor would not forgive me if I didn't ask. What was the wildest or weirdest thing you've ever seen in VR chat?
The wildest what thing?
Wildest or weirdest? Anything that made you go, "Why the
Oh.
fuck am I here?"
Wildest
That
thing
is
I've
a good
seen.
one.
in
Every
VR
day.
chat.
Every day.
Every day.
Dude, that loading screen's crazy, let me tell you. But, But what is the craziest thing I've seen in this clusterfuck of a platform?
Oh, I give you an example. While you think,
Hmm?
one of the funniest things I've
Sure.
seen
All right.
is actually a world news story. It's actually a world that some of you who've been around a while may have found it. I walked into a world hop on accident, and it was Chernobyl, what it's called. And it forced your viewpoint into multiple different places while enemies went after you. So you'd spawn in, can't see jack diddly squat, can't see your menu, can't see anything. All you just see is like rapid flashing as your view ball is just bouncing. It is a clusterfuck of a world, and I did not know why I entered it. And the only way I could figure out to leave was just leaving the platform and restarting the entire game.
Oh, wow.
Actually, okay, I do have a fun story here. I'm not going to say any names at all, as the world I'm going to be referencing is not yet done, and I don't know how the guy making it would feel if I spoiled things too early. So I'm going to be very vague about it. So, one night, I was just going around, and I noticed one of my friends was doing random stuff, so I joined on to him, and immediately when I join, I'm getting bad juju vibes.
Oh.
Things just look off. Things aren't right. Something's going on. So I ask him, "Hey, is there anything in this world?" He looks at me and just does the like creepiest little like giggle and says, "No, absolutely not." So I'm like, "Okay, so you're in on it. Great, lovely. Love to see it. Good that you're doing stuff." Fuck. So I'm going around while they're talking, they're just acting like nothing's wrong, it's just a normal hangout world. And I find a knife. So I pick it up and I find a thing. And I stab the knife into a thing. And I'm transported to this bizarro dimension. Just complete madness. And I look at my friend who's now behind me, just grinning. And I'm like, you fucking liar. and throw everything. He's been lying to me the whole time. Like not a single truth out of his mouth.
Yeah.
So by the end of it, like I've been there for like 5 hours. He's worn me down. He's gotten me. He's just I'm like going insane. And he says to his friend who made the world, like, should I tell him? And I'm like, what are you hiding? He says nothing. I'm like, you're fucking. And after a while of me just getting fucking mad over what this last thing is, my friend shows me, and I just lose it. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I just lose my mind. It's just God, it was such good execution, and it was so funny, and just God, great night, absolutely amazing night.
That sounds funny as shit.
Absolutely.
Oh, what about you two, Connor and Almighty? Wildest the weirdest.
I don't think I really have a wildest or weirdest, other than just some of the stuff that we have done here in the DalekHQ, which we already mentioned. But yeah, I really got no story.
Fair. No, that's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just a question we've asked everybody because everyone's seen some weird thing. Bunch of kids in a corner for murder for moaning Oni-chan or some cult or something.
Oh. Yeah, that would be pretty weird, wouldn't it?
That actually happened. I regretted going into murder for it.
Oh no.
Murder.
Popped into murder for not knowing what it
doesn't
was.
surprise me.
And one of the first instances was a bunch of kiddos in the waiting lobby. Not kiddos, but a bunch of players and anime waifu avatars moaning Oni-chan. I doped the fuck out of there as fast as the loading screen would take me.
Oni-chan.
No, they were moaning Oni-chan in the corner. They
Oni-chan.
weren't chanting it. They were moaning it.
Oni?
Moaning, yes. They weren't doing anything. They're just moaning it. I don't know what the fuck was going on, and nor did I want to know.
I love our community here at VRChat. Such a blessed community to be with.
Definitely will leave you with memories, that's for sure.
Oh God, too many to count.
What about you, Almighty?
You know, I think just the craziest or weirdest thing I've ever seen is actually just straight up just these communities and how like built together they are and all that. It's really weird that such a great number of communities working together and stuff out of nowhere. Just decided one day, fuck it, we ball.
Okay.
And just now all of a sudden, big communities, big events, a lot of friends. It's a weird thing for me. It's because I was, being new to VR and all that, back then I was just like, man, I could never even fathom things like Project happening or even how far we've gotten with the DalekHQ. I could never fathom almost 1,000 members. I thought we peaked at 200.
Oh.
It didn't stop. It didn't stop. After
Can't
that,
stop, won't stop.
No. And so I think it's just all that. I just think it's weird. The 4 years I've been around doing this stuff, it's been an absolute ride. That's the weirdest thing to me. It's just
Fair.
how cool and connective this game is.
Fair. Well, I will.
It is a social game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is called VRChat, not VRChat.
Yeah, some people
Dumb
forget
joke.
about that and shit anyways.
Yeah, look at me sitting. Cringe.
Yeah. It's called VR. Stand up, motherfucker.
Yeah. With that said, thank you very
Sit
much.
down.
Thank you very much for
Oh, no
joining us.
problem.
It's been an absolute blast getting to meet all of you and hear all about the DalekHQ. So thank you very much for letting me into getting some insight on you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Oh, so where can the audience come find you if they wish to come find you?
Ooh.
We have both a Discord, we have a YouTube, we got a VRChat group all by the same name, DalekHQ. We're public, we welcome anyone. We're starting to do quest stuff. It's a little slow, we're a little slow to it, but we do have some content for our quest viewers out there.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, we got like a couple of Quest avatars, and this bunker that we're in is Quest compatible, so Questies can show up here and hang out.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Everything they mentioned will be in the Hoobly What's It down that way in the description, with a bunch of other fun links you should click. Like links to the project community Discord, links to their Discord and all their socials. Maybe some weird Metaverse Degen stuff. Who knows? Cringe. Check down that way.
Can you put a link of like a picture of a frog for no reason?
Done. Oh, also,
Amazing.
could you also send me that short you made that he mentioned earlier where he looked at the other person and said, nuke it? We'll put that as the ending video.
Yes.
Yes! 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 Fucking nuke it!
It's such a great short.
I'll see what I can
Such
do.
a great short.
It's amazing. Amazing short.
And with that said, I'm going to leave you, the audience, with a closing question. What's the weirdest thing you've seen around in gaming or VR chat? Tell us about that time with the thing and the people and, the thing. With that said...
Yeah, don't forget that guy.
Oh, yeah, that guy who did that thing that one time.
Absolutely.
Have a good one, folks. See you in the Metaverse. I'll be boop.